At a campground in Lebanon, Maine. It was 10 days ago, and 10-year-old Emily was impaled by a tree limb.
Emily Malowitz is on a lot of people's minds in her native Millis.
An 11-inch branch went through her chest. It took surgeons 3 hours to carefully remove the piece of wood, which came dangerously close to her heart.
Hi, my name is Emily Malowitz, and I'm a senior at Millis High School, and I'm 18.
What I remember about that day was, before the accident happened, we all went to the rectory department of the campsite we were at to play ping pong, and we were going to have a tournament.
And then I remember hearing raindrops hit the roof, and immediately after that it was just they were slammed down the roof. It was like golf balls hitting the roof, and I just remember it almost got to the point where we couldn't hear each other, and we were a couple feet away, and then my mom came to us, and she's like, "We're just gonna go to the tent. It's just a little storm passing over."
We just all went back to the tent, and then we were all just sitting there. My dad was outside.
So Peter had gone outside.
I went outside the tent because the tent was we were getting water in the tent, and all you remember looking off to the distance, probably about 100 yards out, and trees were at a 90-degree angle. And I really didn't have a chance to react to anything.
Well, we saw the car was totaled by a tree.
And the tree came down, landed on the van, and then landed on the tent.
I don't remember the tree falling. That was one thing I don't remember. And then all of a sudden, my family had to go into action, get this tree off my sister.
My mom went to go run to go find someone to help my dad, who was lifting the tree off of me as they were waiting for the ambulance to come. My siblings obviously didn't know what to do. Everyone was so caught off guard.
I went and I looked. I remember going to the back of the tent, couldn't find anything. I went to the front, and there she was. And I remember just grabbing her head, and I'm like, "Emily, say something to me." And she turned around and she looked at me and she says, "Dad, I can't breathe." And I said, "Okay." She says, "I can do this." Okay, and obviously the tree was on her. I went around and I picked up the tree because I knew help was definitely coming. And I was holding it, and finally one guy came. He actually had a broken arm. Remember that?
Chris, yeah.
But he was there to help. He had one arm up. And we're holding the tree, and then finally it took 8 guys to take the tree and throw it to the side. Emily comes crawling out of the tent, goes right to my wife. Took Emily on a stretcher, took my wife, went in the ambulance. They noticed that they did an x-ray on her. They noticed that there was some kind of something inside her, about 10 inches long, and along with a lot of tent fragments, top fragments, leaves, a lot of stuff they took out. And from then on, she came to, and she struggled. She had a collapsed lung, esophagus was damaged, lining of the heart, along with 3 broken ribs, I believe. 3 broken ribs.
Emily is definitely an inspiration to all of us.
Yeah.
Because everything that she had to do to recover, she did at 110%.
At that age, I don't know how somebody moves on from that. As a family, we all are so inspired by her because she's just so strong, and she shows us that every day we can be a better person and we can be so much stronger than before.
I think someone that I find inspirational to me was my dad. He always talks to me about it, and I think knowing that someone's there and willing to talk about it with me, it means a lot to me. Sorry. I love my dad. He does a lot for the family. All my siblings were there for me.
I'm very proud of her, and I respect what she went through because it's not easy to go through what you went through.
Emily is our hero. That's bottom line.
Yeah.
Emily is our hero.
She's just my person. I'd be lost without her.
Love you a lot. I just, I look at you day in and day out, and I haven't stopped. But I remember August 9th, I'm always in your room giving you a kiss.